talk about in that race for that horse drawing the rail in the turf sprint?
Well, it's not where you'd want to be because he's a little bit of a come-from-behind sprinter. You're going to encounter traffic. It's a rider problem, not my problem now. Jose's got to figure this one out.
And Leinster is in.
He drew great. I think he drew the 7-hole, good spot right in the middle, so he's got no excuse.
Just now we're 4 days out from it. How do you feel about your chances when you've seen who else is going in there and we've got entries in the field set now?
You know, Jenny, I feel if you get them over here the right way, both horses have trained well. They've got here the right way. They're coming in here sound, knock on wood. So it's up to them. They're all good horses. They've beat most of the horses that are in here, but they beat them at a little farther distances. They beat them at 6.5 or 5.5 and 6. 5/8's a different deal. You know, do I wish it was down the hill like it usually is? Yes, but it's not. I knew how far it was when I entered them. So it's just 5/8 is a little tough race. You can't get in trouble.
Do you think, pace-wise, so the 5/8, maybe it, you get a lot of pace, so maybe it could set it up?
It can work that way for you. They can come and now they're running and gunning, and everybody get the lead, and they'll set up for you, and then you get a clear trip. There you go. So it can work for you.
It can. That's the problem with the turf sprint. Like you said, no room for mistakes.
Yeah, that's the problem. You know, if you get in trouble, if you slip up a little bit, you end up getting beat by neck instead of winning by neck. But, hey, it's the beauty of the race.
About these two horses coming into this race, how you felt versus some of the horses you brought. You haven't had a lot of Breeders' Cup starters.
I haven't had very many. I thought probably I've had two horses that I legitimately thought had a good shot. Clear Mandate, and maybe she emptied herself out in the Spinster. She won the Spinster, and just maybe wasn't anything left after she won it. Last year, I thought I had a big chance with Concrete Rose. Rained for 2 days. We drew the 1 hole, and it was a bog. People can say it was soft. It wasn't soft. It was a bog, and she just didn't run well on it. I remember when I brought her back this year, the first race was soft at Churchill, and they said, "Oh, she doesn't like it soft." I said, "She'll handle it soft. She doesn't like swimming in it, you know." So I thought last year I had a chance. Didn't work out, and I think I have, I actually think I have 3 live horses. Will they all win? No, but I think they all came here the right way, and it's probably my best chance that I've had.
That's right. You've got one in. Is it the that I keep?
This is 2-year-old Juvenile Turf, and he's a maiden, but he's a good maiden. He was second at Saratoga. Then he came back and was third in the winning you're in the Bourbon. Was on the head for the lead to the 16th pole, and probably experience got him. And he came back. He's done great for a month, and he's 20-1. But I think he's a pretty good horse.
You've had a huge year. With Concrete Rose earlier in the year, and just with these two horses and winning the stakes at Saratoga. To put in perspective, if you could win a Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, it's been a great year. This would be icing on the cake for me. I haven't won one. I can't say it is disappointing. You know, when you're in this long, that's what everybody wants to do. It's a little disappointing I haven't won one, but I haven't, and I'm not done yet, though.
You know, the decision to run at Ellis Park, and then, and then carry it forward. And then also, he was eligible to try to go for $1 million bonus, but you sat out the race at Keeneland. So just backing up from the start, going at Ellis.
He went to Ellis Park for one reason. It was a winning end to the Kentucky Downs race. We were all planning on taking him to New York. When we saw it was a winning end, they put that series up. We took him there. He ran. He got it done. He got into the Kentucky Downs race. He got it done. We thought going to Keeneland we were going to squeeze too much into him, and Mr. Hill really wanted to take his best shot to win a Breeders' Cup, and we sit down and talked about it, and we thought his best shot to win a Breeders' Cup was not to run him back. He was sound. He was healthy. He actually went home to his farm for about 3 weeks and rested on the farm. He turns him out. They do train him, but they turn him out a lot. He sent him back in. He looked great, and we're very happy with how we got him here.
Now, you did run Leinster back.
I did. I actually thought Leinster needed more points at the time. I was scared that he hadn't done enough. He had one graded stake, a third and a win, and we were questioning on that, and we ran him back, and he ran good. I thought he was going to win at the 16th pole. Doug O'Neill's horse ran great, ran him down, came out of the race good, and he's in good shape also.
And you finished first and third in the race at Kentucky Downs. They don't normally like to run against each other, but you ran them against each other because?
because it was $700,000 probably, and it was a spot to know, to win in your end. There was two reasons for it: the purse and winning your end. Makes a big difference. The winning your ends are great. I mean, makes a huge difference to come out here and it doesn't cost you anything.
That long ago, when the narrative was how Kentucky racing was going down, and then now, and how what you see from the horseman's perspective, we see the racetracks working together, like Ellis working, Kentucky Downs working with Ellis and everything, and how these purses have really turned around in Kentucky.
I had trained in New York 22 years, and in 2008 I moved back to Kentucky. I thought things were going to be on the upswing. I actually at the time thought we were going to get alternative gambling, we were going to get slots. It didn't happen. And now, about 10 years later, it's paid off for me because we've got a great circuit right now. Hopefully, Turfway is going to add to that. I guess we're going to call it something different pretty soon, but I think that's going to add to the circuit. Ellis Park has become a viable place to run. Kentucky Downs is great. Churchill's huge. Keeneland's Keeneland. It's always been there. So Kentucky's got a good circuit right now, and you can tell that by how many horses you see shipping in for these races.